Common Coffee presents A Bed of Roasters with your host, Kirsteen McKenzie. Common Coffee.
From one flavor-packed roast to the next, it's time for another episode of Bed of Roasters. This time we're brewing up something sweet, and I'm not just talking about the actual roast of coffee which we'll be drinking today, but I'm talking about our guest, a well-renowned chef with impeccable taste, who is an expert at serving. Okay, it's Roberta Hall McCarron. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome into bed. So, let's explain the concept just so that everybody understands, although you're already slightly clued in. Over here we have the scoreboard, which is marking the different evolutions of the roasting of a bean itself. You here are represented with the sweet logo of Common Coffee. That's because sweet is the coffee that we'll be serving today, and also the one that you serve in one of your restaurants.
It is.
And I'm the complex coffee down here. I'm Kirsteen, I'm the host, and I am visiting from France here, Edinburgh. But how long have you been in Edinburgh?
I was born here, so long time.
And tell me about your career trajectory. You always wanted to be a chef since day one. How did that present itself to your parents?
Surprisingly, they were very much on board. They've always been really, really good. When I was 16, I got the opportunity to do some work experience, and I actually wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And they said, well, all you do is cook. Like, you cook at home, you cook dinner parties at home, you love it. Like, why don't we write to some restaurants and see what we get back? And that's what we did. And then one of the restaurants in Edinburgh answered back, and I went and did a week, and I just fell in love with it.
So straight in it.
Straight in, yeah. And then I just got a job with them whilst I finished school, and then went full time after I finished school. And it's just been sort of one job to the next. Did a little bit of college in Glasgow, training to be a chef. I've just never really looked back, and here I am a few years later.
One thing I notice about cooks and chefs, you start off and it's all about the love of the food and getting things out on the plate. But then as your career evolves, it becomes about making also the environment as well. So how did that happen for you?
It's so true. I think, all you want to do when you're starting out is learning how to cook and what to do, and just like learn all about the ingredients, etc. And now being a restaurant owner as well, like the whole experience for the guest is so much more important. And it has been very gradual. Like, I really probably didn't pay much attention to front of house for a very long time. But now I love being able to understand both areas, and I very much so do, more so I think because my husband, who is also my business partner, does everything front of house, and so even if I didn't want to, I very much know all about it, because our conversations there definitely rotate about work a lot, but he's as passionate as I am, so it's a really good balance.
Okay, and what's his name?
Sean.
And so where can we come and see you in Sean? Where are your spots?
Mainly Leith. Eleanor technically isn't in Leith, but it's on Leith Walk. And then the other two are, and they're right next door to each other. So I've got Little Chart Room and Art Fern, which is the recent addition to the group. And the much, much more casual one, and that's where we serve the fantastic sweet
coffee, because you do breakfast.
We do breakfast.
My favourite meal.
Yes. Breakfast going all the way into the evening. So you can come in for, get a filled roll, get a full Scottish breakfast. Or you can come in later in the day and we serve a lot of different food all day throughout. But if you don't fancy breakfast, we do then serve food later on, and are open up until 11.
So the full Scottish breakfast, it's James McAvoy that serves it, or how does that work?
Yeah, if only. No, just a really, really good one. Really, really good one.
Better than the English breakfast.
100%.
So what do you eat? What is it? I've never heard of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We make our own bacon. We did have haggis on, but we just changed it to black pudding, but we're making it ourselves as well. Tatty scones.
Okay.
So potato scone.
I like those. I know those.
Oh, cool. Good.
Yeah.
We are very well known for our hash browns. We do hash browns in Art Fern. Had the ones since day one, and we just changed the topping. But the other things on the breakfast, eggs, beans. Again, we make our own beans. Just lots of yummy things.
Yeah.
Lots of wine as well.
Okay.
A very, very big wine list. You can sit in and drink it, or there's a shop. You can take it away.
Who will be this season's roasty with the mosty? Common coffee.
It's time for a coffee, I think, to perk me up. We've got the sweet roast, but we need a delivery. I'd like to introduce today's running joke in the coffee industry, Jason Harvey, the creator of Common Coffee. We would like to have coffees.
Coffees? Are you coming for a run?
Which run?
Like, we got to run to get the coffee.
Why?
Because that's the idea.
The running joke.
That's the idea.
No, but for real, we won't be leaving the bed.
Okay, fair enough.
And we'd like
Okay.
to have a delivery.
Yep.
You'll take the delivery option.
Okay.
Flat white for me.
Flat white, yeah, sure thing.
Oh, flat white for me, please.
2 flat whites, 1 with oat milk.
Yeah.
Coming right up. See you soon.
So how did you meet Sean anyway?
In work, yeah.
Do you hired him? It's like doctor-patient confidentiality? No, like...
No. No, I was working in a restaurant in Edinburgh called Castle Terrace. We've been together for 10 years. And so, yes, I've known him for about 12 years. A bit younger than me, 6 years younger.
Sounds like a dish. And you guys have a daughter together now?
We do, got little Cara. She's actually going to be 3 in April.
Okay.
So we're fully into the 2.
We're little Miss Madame.
Yeah.
Where I can do it on my own.
Everything on my own. I mean, and it's so incredible to watch her be this little independent person and just want to be doing all those things.
Does she like to cook?
She does, yeah. It was so hard to cook at home because she just wants to see what I'm doing and would like sit on my feet and stop me from doing anything in the kitchen. So we got our I think called a learning tower.
Yeah,
Do you know what
I
it
know
is?
the one.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird looking chair step
Yeah.
ladder thing.
That they stand inside and
Yeah.
it keeps them safe. But
But
it
they'll
also
find a way to fall out.
oh yeah. Oh my gosh, she terrifies me on it. Like she's a climber.
Yeah.
She is such a climber, and I like kind of got to that stage where I can't keep her locked in the bedroom anymore if I want to have a shower. And I came out the other day and she was like standing on top of the kitchen table.
No.
Oh, what are you doing? Gonna kill yourself. But she's I love that aspect to her personality as well. But no, so now we got the learning tower. She gets in it, and we go up and we make just little things. But yeah, we do things together, and it's very cool. And I'm really excited for her to reach that age where I can really start to teach her how to cook, and for her to really understand, also, hold a knife and not potentially do really terrible things. I mostly it's completely biased, but everyone does say she's gorgeous.
Yeah. You love dressing her up.
Yeah, and do you know what? Skirts and dresses are kind of annoying, so I generally just put her in trousers. So when she does wear a skirt or a dress, she is like, oh my God, I'm going to go to the mirror, and she's a proper wee girly girl.
Yeah.
She was super cute the other day because I was, she's fascinated with me putting makeup on, and I was in the bathroom getting ready, and she found like this new makeup compact thing that I had, and she's like, oh, and then she's like, Mummy, what's that? And I opened it up and I was showing her, and she's like, okay, cool. And then she's like, oh, because it was like powders and stuff, but there was no brush or anything. She's like,
Yeah.
and she ran away, and she came back. And in the kitchen, we've got those, the silicone brush, like pastry brushes that you used to cook with.
Yeah.
She came running back with that. It's like, yeah, you're on the right track, but it was just like, for me, heart melting moment.
Do you find a lot of things go missing from the kitchen? Are you very meticulous about it?
Oh God, no. Like at home, everything is rubbish. The restaurants get everything that's good. I think we have an IKEA knife in the house actually at home.
So it's the same type of thing, because my dad's a mechanic. So in our household growing up, all our cars were always falling apart and breaking down. And then, at work, he was working on all these amazing cars. Actually, he used to work for Mitsubishi Ralliart. So he was working on like Tommy Mackinnon's cars. And, I think once I probably even met Colin McRae.
Wow.
And then it's like, at home, you're lucky if you can get out the driveway.
Yeah. Exactly the same. When everything ever breaks at home, it will literally be, we're missing the tap from our kitchen sink, the cold tap. You have to like use like the little bit to like turn it on. It's been like that for about 3 months. If it was the restaurant, we'd literally be like, oh, can you come? Because me and Sean are rubbish at DIY or anything, and we'd be like, can you come and fix this, please? And I'm on this threshold of literally about to lose it because it's very annoying trying to turn this tap on. But I could just go out and sort out myself as well.
I think it's time to upgrade this conversation
Yeah.
like it is to upgrade your home kitchen
Yeah.
by welcoming some coffee into our bed. Common Coffee, of course, is the sponsor of the podcast. That's the reason why we're doing this. We require coffee. So, Jason!
Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Jason Harvey, everybody.
Alrighty-o. Okay, so we've got 1 oat flat white
Thank
for
you.
you.
Delivered in his running gear because, can you explain the running joke, Jason?
The running joke.
Yeah.
It's just like there's a lot of run clubs now that coffee companies do, I guess. And I don't like running really, so we're not doing one. Basically.
This is as close as you're going to get to a common run club.
Love it.
The distance between the kitchen and the bed.
And they come from Maiden Cafe, so you just
Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
Well-
Well, I'll let you enjoy.
Thank you.
It's the sweet, which is the wash brew. So
Delicious.
Yeah,
I drink this every day. It's fantastic.
yeah. So I guess we can drink it, but I want to take the lid off of mine because I always love looking at the
Oh, how it's done?
latte
Yeah,
art.
yeah.
See if I get a true little tulip or a fern.
Well, yours
But
is
he's
better
right
than
with it.
mine.
Mine's slightly better.
There was a heart.
You know, sometimes I also like to read the latte art as though it's going to tell me something about my future. Yours is not looking good.
No, it's murky.
Mine has a little kind of love heart, or maybe two cranes having a kiss, like with their necks in the middle.
Oh, I got it.
Spot, yeah, could be.
It's
I'm going to take it as a positive sign.
absolutely.
And yours kind of has bubbles in it, so maybe champagne tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me and Cara.
Mm. So, lids off. Lids off is like a good jump
great.
into the next category.
Okay.
'Cause we're going to be like, no filter. We got to do some roasting because otherwise nobody progresses.
Little going to move on the
through the
board, right? Yeah.
Who will be this season's Roasty with the Mosty? Common Coffee.
It's time for our first category in the hopes of finding our roasty with the mosty. It's the morning routine, okay? I'll kick things off with a roast. Roberta's mornings are so slow that if she were a coffee, she'd be a cold brew herself. Takes forever to get going, but ultimately delicious. It was a roast, but also nice at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, basically we've heard about how you like to stay in bed as long as possible.
Pretty
you
much.
have been thrown under the bus. Is this a chef thing because you work nights, or just a you thing?
Oh. I think both. Yeah, it's a chef thing, a night thing. I am definitely a night owl, although now that I'm just like a mum and a chef, I'm tired all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I've never been a morning person. I used to be a much better night person. I used to get so much stuff done at nighttime, and now I don't get stuff done at nighttime, but I also don't get up in the morning. But no, I've kind of, I don't know, you're a mum, so I think you might agree that I might have nailed this because we're at that point where, because Sean's so much better in the morning, he's the only person that Cara asks for.
Wow.
So
That's the dream.
Yeah.
So speaking of sleep, you've been clear that you also hate camping. Nothing says relaxing getaway like rolling yourself into a human burrito for the midgies. So clearly the best part about camping is packing up and getting out of Dodge, getting out of there. So the best part about your morning, is it getting out of there, getting out of the house, or you prefer to sort of linger?
Oh, I'm a linger. Big time linger. Yeah. Definitely procrastinate as well. I do question why it does sometimes take us so long to get out of the house, but it's probably my fault.
And it's seasonal too, I find. Like winter takes longer.
Oh God, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, Cara's like approaching 3, so it's only gotten harder.
I know you're quite meticulous, but are you also one of those people who's always on time? Or
Oh God, no. I'm always late. I mean, I was late today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody told me once that being late is genetic. It's nothing to
Yep,
do
I'd agree.
with how you kind of operate. It's like in your genes. No, like I used to live far away from my job. I moved half an hour closer, and yet I'm still late. It's genetic. I can't help it. So there we have it, flown through the round for morning routines. And I'm afraid to say that I didn't write any roast for myself, which is...
You deserve a roasting just for that.
I deserve roasting just for that. And it's frankly cheating.
Yes.
So anyway,
we just met.
we still need to move someone on this board. I think you got technically roasted more. I don't know why I wrote it.
I got stitched up.
You got stitched up, but there you go. You're going down here now, just like next to me, right? So then
I think you should move yourself.
Well, just a little bit then, like just as a penalty for being a cheat. But we're still in this green zone. You know, things are green and dandy, right? Now it's time to move on to the dinner party category of the Bed of Roasters podcast, where we move on to, again, finding out who's going to be the roasty with the mosty, but with the category being dinner parties, which should be part of your repertoire, really, your expertise. So let's set the scene. A dinner party hosted by Roberta Hall McCarron. Imagine the food is exquisite. Beef Wellington for the main, chocolate anything for dessert. But what is the vibe? Are you the one organizing the games, starting table dances? Or your daughter was dancing on a table. Or just trying to stop people from seasoning their food before they taste it?
I just don't put any salt out so that they can't do that. So yeah.
Technique.
Also, all the food's
Respect the technique.
perfectly seasoned, so they don't need it. I mean, I hear that your dinner parties are so last minute that you actually might turn up late.
Yeah, that is so true. It happened only days ago.
To your actual own dinner party?
Yeah,
the one you were hosting?
Don't tell everybody, although I'm doing it myself right now, but I leave my door open often and I unlocked, and I said to my friends, come at this time for the dinner party, and I got home and they were all there.
I mean, that's like, it's very nice and inviting. It's a nice way in some ways to kind of kickstart it with a really relaxed vibe.
And it's also
they might
good.
Consider if it's actually going to happen, but
yeah, because you know, the French culture with the apéro, so there's like a plancha of charcuterie and bread, cheese. Like I got home and that was all ready to go. Like those little olives.
They did it.
They'd done it.
Okay, so you didn't even prepare anything for your own dinner party.
It's like I was just the venue. Maybe I should open up shop.
Yeah. No, it sounds like fun.
Okay.
Good
roast.
Yeah.
Fun. You got me. Okay. Surprise category.
Oh gosh.
Surprise.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Didn't even set it up. Just surprise category. Category is surprise. Actually, the category.
Is this another one where I'm not going to be able to roast you because it's a surprise, like the ones like two before?
Well, no. As I think I wrote some in. The thing is that I wrote all of these episodes a long time ago and before we met, so I can't even remember. So I mean, I do have an advantage, but it's not as much as you'd think because I have also got a really bad memory.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Mine's horrendous. Horrendous.
But that's why chefs have recipe books, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to remember.
Well, you know, exactly.
Do you have a book? Like published?
Yeah.
Ooh, published author over here. What's it called?
It's called The Changing Tides.
Okay.
It's just about lots of yummy things that you can make, obviously. But it's through the seasons, really showcasing Scottish produce. And just things that I love to make, and very, very chilled, like very at homey. It's not like restaurant food at all.
Okay.
I think if I wrote a book that was food from the restaurant, who am I writing that for?
Important question with the measurements. Do you do like weight or cups?
Weight and spoons.
Spoons.
Is there a cup measurement? It was one of that was one of the things that came up so many times. And bounced backwards and forwards with the publishers a lot. And they were like, if it's 10 grams, you can't put 10 grams in. Because we had some recipes that were like 5 grams of salt. And it's like, you just put a pinch. Just put a pinch and taste it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Can I find it at your cafe?
You can.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I will do that. And then I'll have a common coffee at the same time.
Yeah.
Bring it all back home, ladies and gents. Okay, so the music festivals. Roberta, for our surprise category, we asked you to plan your ultimate festival lineup. So your picks were Chef's Kiss, Queen, Fleetwood Mac, Mark Knopfler, Taylor Swift, and Whitney Houston. That's a lineup that spans decades and sort of many different genres. If you could only have one of those acts headline your festival, who's getting the top billing?
Oh gosh. Okay, I think it would be between Queen or Fleetwood Mac. I think Queen, just because, like, I mean, they did such varied music, and obviously, you know, they're Freddie Mercury not around anymore. But he was just such an entertainer, and I just think it would be unreal to go to one of their shows. So I think I sort of feel like they might. But then at the same time, Fleetwood Mac also are exceptional. Like, I love their music. It's so nostalgic for me. It just reminds me of being a kid in the car with the cassette tape on, growing up, and it just kind of brings that kind of warmth and I don't know, just happiness. Yeah, whenever I hear their music, and I've never seen them in a show before, so in a festival or anything. So I think it would just be such a dream to be able to do it, because then they only didn't, like, you know, they were actually still performing up until fairly recent. So kind of annoyed that I didn't really get my head together and get to see them. But
Did you see Taylor Swift?
I've not seen any of them. I'm really busy.
So that's why you put them on the dream list, because
it would be amazing.
Yeah.
She's a bit more of a new kind of enjoying her.
Is it because it's music you can put on around your daughter?
Oh, totally. And it's just like, you know, she's a female. She's doing so many good things, I think, for women in her industry in all kind of aspects of it. And she's, you know, she's such an absolute trailblazer. And it's fun. It's like music just to kind of like, but like dance around to and not really think too much about. I mean, obviously she thinks it's all of her music's about her heartache or her everything. So
it's not all,
nothing to her. But it's just really catchy. Like, yeah, pop music's fun. But I think who would headline? Like I say, between Queen and Fleetwood Mac.
Okay, Queen and Fleetwood Mac. And maybe they can sing a song together.
Yeah. Oh, we get a little mashup. Yeah, that's good. The Mark Knopfler in that title was actually for my dad, because he loves him. And again, it's like another person that I grew up listening to, like Dire Straits, all of that. And I know that Martin Knopfler doesn't tour anymore either. So that would have been just for Dad to come along to the concert too. And then he could maybe swiftly leave when like Swiftie came out.
I can't imagine camping is part of the festival, as discussed. You don't like it. You've already made that clear that it's a no-go.
It's just, you know what, right? I've just not camped loads, and all the experiences that I've had have not been great. And I did a wilderness festival a few years ago. And I was cooking at it, because now like chefs get asked to go and cook at these festivals, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And my tent, I think, was on an earwig nest.
Oh my God.
Which was, and yeah, I don't know, like I don't love beasties. We call them beasties in Scotland, like creepy crawlies. And I remember I got there, I had a chef friend coming to help me out, and I arrived the day before her, and we were in glamping, in these little teepees, and there was like those little beds that they put in. What are they called? The ones that like
a cot maybe, or like a.
Well, yeah. So it's not even like, it wasn't even on the ground, but it was to the point where you know, I mean, it had like a duvet and stuff, but I brought a sleeping bag with me. You would move like the duvet, and they would just be like, and I would like go around every like sort of hour, like scooping them up, and because I had these little plastic cups, and was like chucking them out the tent, and would open up my bag, and they were scurrying around in my bag. And from a person that just doesn't really love beasties, it was just really a bit much.
Yeah.
And Nikki, who came and helped me out, and we shared the tent together, she camps all the time, like literally has like a tent and sleeping bag in the back of her car, and we just like go off, like, you know, pitch down, whatever. And like the day after, one night we did one night, and the next morning she was like, oh no, right. I was like, is this normal? Like, I don't camp very much. I'm not loving this. And she was just like, this is not normal. No. This is horrendous. And so therefore, you know, not great.
No, and earwigs are the worst. Oh my God.
I mean, I got
Their
home.
name, it's like
Yeah.
they're going in, they
Well,
want
they're not
my
really
ears.
doing anything, but they're just, I mean, it still gives me like, look at me, I'm like,
Yeah.
I did loads of sailing growing up. And
Oh,
that's
yeah?
kind of like camping on water.
That's that round over. I think I got roasted. I literally think I got roasted more than you. Like, so I'm gonna have to move me into this roasted part over here. So I'm going over here to
Oh,
this
God.
yellow part.
That was quite a big move.
How about we have a sip of coffee before we move on?
I think I might have finished mine.
You finished yours? Oh wow.
Sorry. But yeah.
What does
you
that say?
You crack on.
Yeah.
It was very good.
Mm.
It was very good, as always.
Is it one of the most popular coffees in your cafe?
Flat whites or that coffee. We only serve that coffee.
You only serve that coffee, yeah. So what is the
Yeah.
most popular coffee in Edinburgh? Because, like, for example, obviously in New Zealand it is the flat white.
Right.
In
okay,
France, it's they always.
Oh, they don't know what flat white is
espresso
in France.
or
do
long
they?
black. No, they do not.
Yeah, same in Italy. It's hilarious.
What are we drinking in Scotland?
Flat whites, I would
Is
say. Maybe I'm just like that now in that stage of my life where I'm like, I need the 2 shots and I need a nice amount of milk to kind of just make it taste delicious, but I really need just 2 shots.
Yeah, for me, it's the 2 shots for sure.
Yeah. And I'm not a dairy-free person, but I just love the taste of oat milk, and that's why I always go for the oat flat white.
So, I'm gonna readjust my position because actually I'm gonna get more comfortable with like this because now it's time to do some gossip. Just a couple of gals in bed, the bed of roasters. Time for some goss.
Yeah.
The gossip segment. Let's dish some gossip.
Okay.
If you had to spill some tea instead of coffee about the chef world, what's one misconception that people have about chefs? Hands.
Ask me something that you perceive about my industry, and I'll be like,
Alcoholics.
oh, I mean, there's hundreds of them.
Yeah, sorry, that was really too fast. You can tell I've dated a chef.
Yes, definitely an industry that a lot of people and on the job, and it's like, where is all the porno gone?
What about injuries? Everybody gets burns.
Oh, do you mean like accidentally or on purpose?
Oh no, it's for sure accidentally.
Okay.
it
doesn't happen on purpose, no. Well, I think it's never in any kitchen I worked in, but I did used to hear stories about that sort of thing happen. Yeah, so the abuse can definitely be a thing.
That is gossip.
But things have improved over the last few years. I think. Yeah.
What about the sort of a common misconception could be, even though you are a woman yourself, that kitchens are dominantly male.
Yeah.
Still true?
Oh gosh, 100%. Yeah. It's definitely changing. But even within my own kitchens, like it's still such a high percentage, and it drives me up the wall. I mean, when I was coming up through kitchens, it was just the norm for me because there was times when I was in a kitchen and I was the only girl. I lived and worked in Dubai for a year and a half, and I was in a team of like 17 chefs, and I was the only girl.
Yeah.
And it didn't really bother me because I didn't know any different. But like, I want to encourage women to be able to come into this industry because they've 100% got their place in kitchens.
Who will be this season's Roasty with the Mosty? Common coffee.
The closing remarks, Roberta. You've been an absolute delight. This coffee is as sweet as your sense of humor. And thank you for joining me in the Bed of Roasters and sharing a little bit about your life and your family. And we're going to tally up our roast points now. And wow, we didn't really get a lot of roasting in. I think, we've only done 2 episodes so far. This is our 2nd episode. So far, you are winning, okay? Because Jason, as we remember rightly in the 1st episode, was somewhere in the middle of this yellow area. You're closer to the green, and therefore the least roasted thus far in the Bed of Roasters podcast series. You could win this amazing trophy to your left. Would you like to pick it up and show the camera?
Sure.
This was made by who's going to be on our next podcast episode, our 3rd guest, Ella. And
Will she feel like she's achieved something if she wins this, do you think?
well, I mean, I would say so. I think it's quite the experience and an honor to come on the show. So
Very true.
even though she made it herself, I would hope that she feels proud to receive it. So let's see. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Meet you back in bed for another episode of A Bed of Roasters. Available now and filter free on all top streaming platforms. Common Coffee.